Hi there, learners! Today is another time for our virtual learning engagement in English 9. I'm Teacher Joy from Disciplina Village Bignay National High School, your virtual teacher / Netflix buddy this morning. Come and join me for another virtual learning experience only here at Valenzuela Live. Just a few reminders before we start. Please make sure you have your learning packet in English, pen, and paper ready. Don't forget to take note of the significant details from the lesson and reserve your queries for our question and answer portion later. Allow me to present to you our most essential learning competency. That is to judge the validity of the evidence listened to. Our specific learning competencies, on the other hand, is judge the relevance and worth of information or ideas. We will be using Quarter 3, Module 2, prepared by Ma'am Maria Carmela D. Fajardo from Mapulang Lupa National High School. I guess we are all ready for our Netflix marathoning. Let's begin by watching the first popular Korean film on our list. Let us test how sharp your ears are by having our first activity. Let's hear it. I will play 2 voice recordings saying interesting things about the movie Squid Game. All you have to do is to listen attentively and carefully, jot down important details from the recordings, and be able to identify which information about Squid Game is more relevant. Are you ready? Awesome! Let's play the first recording now.
According to the Philippine Star, director Wang Dong-hyuk revealed that he had written the script for Squid Game in 2008.
Didn't you get the first information? No problem. Let's play it again. This time, be more attentive.
According to the Philippine Star, director Wang Dong-hyuk revealed that he had written the script for Squid Game in 2008.
Let us now proceed to the second voice recording.
I heard from my friend that Squid Game movie was actually written in the year 2010.
Didn't catch it? Let's hear it one more time.
I heard from my friend that Squid Game movie was actually written in the year 2010.
Now, which among the 2 recordings you think is more relevant to Squid Game? Hit the heart reaction if you believe that the first one is the correct answer, and hit like if it's the second one. Go! The answer is the first recording.
According to the Philippine Star, director Wang Dong-hyuk revealed that he had written the script for Squid Game in 2008.
For those who reacted heart, you all did a good job. What makes you decide that the first recording is more relevant? Wow, you are right. It is because the first recording has more reliable source or evidence compared to the second one. Now, which among the 5 macro skills did we utilize earlier to identify the relevant information? Nice one! It's listening. The other macro skills are reading, viewing, speaking, and writing. Experts say that listening is said to be the most challenging macro skill because we are often unable to accurately attend to messages due to various noises around us, not to mention people's weak concentration. Effective listening requires the ability to evaluate whether we should believe a point raised. Listening also involves assessing the weight of the evidence used to support a statement. We will be exploring this macro skill as we go along our learning engagement. Also, we will be dealing with more activities involving different evidences used to support a statement. So, let's discuss about evidence. Evidence refers to facts, documentations, or testimonies used to strengthen a claim, support an argument, or reach a conclusion. There are 4 types of evidences. The first one is statistical evidence. It comes in a form of number, percentage, or survey type of data. The second is testimonial evidence. Experts and authorities are used. Third in line is anecdotal evidence. The speaker is telling about his own experiences. And the last one is analogical evidence. Conclusions based on comparisons. Let's check some examples. These are examples of statements containing statistical evidence. Squid Game is the first K-drama to reach the top 10 list of the platform's most popular content. Squid Game helped create 15% higher subscriber growth for Netflix than projected. In these examples, the evidences used are in a form of numerals and percentage. Next, the following statements use testimonial evidence. The Washington Post mentioned that Squid Game is not violent for the sake of violence. It has a point. Jake Walsh, a lifestyle contributor, said that Squid Game has taken over the country and is on pace to become Netflix's most watched show ever. In these examples, the evidences presented include testimonials from a popular American daily newspaper called The Washington Post and a lifestyle contributor named Jake Walsh. Coming in our examples under our third type of evidence, anecdotal evidence. Kang Sebyok doesn't deserve to die. I watched the movie and I know she's a good person. The movie is really a must-watch, especially if you are into gore scenes, based on my experience. In these examples, the evidences presented include the speaker's narration of his or her own experience in watching the movie. The last set of examples are under analogical evidence. Squid Game is a lot more the same with Alice in Borderland. Squid Game is an allegory about modern capitalist society. In these examples, the evidences are used as subject for analogy. Squid Game is being compared to Alice in Borderland, and Squid Game was described to be a representation of the modern capitalist society. Wow, we're now done with our first movie. We also finished discussing the different types of evidence, which are great, statistical, testimonial, anecdotal, and analogical evidence. So, let us test more your analytical side in our next activity. With that, let us move on to our next Spanish movie. For our next activity, what evidence? We will try to identify what type of evidence is present in each statement by hitting the correct reaction. You may choose either heart, like, haha, or wow. You have 5 seconds to answer. Ready? Then, let's start. Statement number 1. Money Heist is a dramatic and thrilling Spanish show that has been loved by many including me. What is the type of evidence present here? Is it heart? Like? Haha? Or wow? Your 5 seconds starts now. The answer is haha, anecdotal evidence. Nice one, learners. This is our second statement. Filming money heist has taken place in 300 locations in 7 countries. What is the type of evidence present here? Is it heart? Like? Haha? Or wow? Your time starts now. I can see mixed reactions flying around. However, we only have one answer, and that is heart. Statistical evidence. If you got it right, you are amazing. Let us proceed to our third statement. A very popular women's magazine named Cosmopolitan wrote that Tokyo, one of the casts of Money Heist, wasn't meant to be the narrator of the Money Heist movie. Is it heart? Like? Haha? Or wow? Go! You are all very participative. If your answer is like, then you got it correctly. It's testimonial evidence. Last 2 questions ahead. Moving on to our next statement. I watched La Casa de Papel on plane rides back to the Philippines and knew there was something special. Is it heart? Like? Haha? Or wow? 5 seconds, go! Very good, learners. The answer is haha. That is anecdotal evidence. Last one, learners. The show, before it was streamed on Netflix, was released in Spain in May 2017. The first episode was a hit with 4.5 million views. Is it heart? Like? Haha? Or wow? Come on, hit your reaction. What is the answer? It's the heart reaction. Statistical evidence. Wonderful. Did you get all the correct answers? Wow, you rock. Now that we already know the types of evidence, we are now prepared for the next level. May I ask you, how can we say that an evidence is valid and relevant? A challenging question, right? But before we answer this question, I wonder, what do we mean when we say valid and relevant? Based on Merriam-Webster's dictionary, valid means well-grounded or justifiable, being at once relevant and meaningful and logically correct. Whereas, relevant means having significant and demonstrable bearing on the matter at hand. Now, we are ready to answer the question, how can we say that an evidence is valid and relevant? Any idea? Still difficult? No worries. We can do it by following these tasks. First thing to do is identify the speaker's argument. It is the main point or the claim that is presented. We need to know the speaker's argument for us to properly evaluate if the evidence presented is relevant to it. Second thing is Identify the evidences the speaker used to support his point. Check if the evidence is significant or relative to the argument raised. That way, we can determine if the evidence is valid. To help you further in deciding whether an evidence is relevant and valid, you may use these guide questions as well. What is the source of the evidence? Does the evidence support the claim? And is there enough evidence? Now, can you help me identify if the evidence in this statement is valid and relevant? This statement is about one of the casts of the Money Heist movie, Alvaro Morte, who played the role of the professor. It's fairly clear that Alvaro Morte has worked hard to bring the professor to life. In the 9UP FM interview with Morte, he admits that he helped provide inspiration to costume designers by asking them to help him look like a normal shy guy who would never be noticed. Let us first identify the main point or argument. Which among the sentences here is our main point? Awesome! It's fairly clear that Alvaro Morte has worked hard to bring the professor to life. How about the evidence used to support this point? Very nice. It's the 9FM interview with Morte. It's a testimonial evidence. Now, do you think the evidence used here in this statement valid and relevant to the point raised? That is correct. It is relevant, however, it is not valid. The interview with Morte himself is relevant since Morte is the person involved. But what he said during the interview does not totally justify that he really worked hard for the role. Therefore, the presented evidence is not enough to prove the argument. How about the next statement? No heist had ever garnered as much media attention as Money Heist, the one that began on our screens back in 2017. Watched by millions in over 190 countries, this Netflix hit has received numerous awards, including an International Emmy for Best Drama Series. What is the main point of the statement? Brilliant! No heist had ever garnered as much media attention as Money Heist. How about the evidences used to support this point? Good job! Watched by millions in over 190 countries and numerous awards, which are both statistical evidences. So, what do you think? Are these evidences valid and relevant to the speaker's main point? Wonderful! The evidences cited are relevant and valid. Million viewers in over 190 countries and numerous awards are the numerical expressions used to prove that Money Heist was able to garner so much attention since it started in 2017. There is even a specific award mentioned which further proved that Money Heist has been such a popular drama series. And we're back to our Netflix home screen. That means we already finished our second movie. You see, identifying the validity and relevance of an evidence is kind of tricky. Sometimes it depends on our satisfaction. There are also times where the evidence is relevant, but cannot be considered as valid. That is why we need to be cautious in checking out evidences. Always remember to think before you click. So, to further test your understanding, let us now watch our third Wattpad inspired is entitled Relevant or Not. Here, we will again test your listening skills by playing voice recordings saying interesting things about the Filipino movie, He's Into Her. Afterwards, you will be asked about the speaker's main point and whether the evidences used in each statement you listen to is relevant or not. So, please listen carefully and attentively. Jot down important details for your reference. Game, let's begin. Is the evidence relevant or not? Let us listen to what Dave Enrile has to say.
While He's Into Her reached the trending charts for its killing factor, that was not the only reason it's a fan favorite. ABS-CBN Entertainment revealed that it taught lessons about the dangers of bullying and the importance of family. Moreover, viewers across the globe, especially the young ones, weren't just watching their favorite characters go about their day-to-day at school, but they were also gaining valuable lessons that would enrich their lives.
Did you get it? No? Then let's play it again.
While He's Into Her reached the trending charts for its killing factor, that was not the only reason it's a fan favorite. ABS-CBN Entertainment revealed that it taught lessons about the dangers of bullying and the importance of family. Moreover, viewers across the globe, especially the young ones, weren't just watching their favorite characters go about their day-to-day at school, but they were also gaining valuable lessons that would enrich their lives.
How was our first voice recording? Oh, great! I'm glad you were able to jot down details for reference. Now, let us try to determine Dave Blor's main point in his statement. Is it the heart reaction? The like reaction? Haha? Or the wow reaction? Can you show me your answer? If you hit heart, then you're superb. Let us now identify if Dave Blor's evidences in his statement relevant or not. What is your guess? You have 5 seconds to choose. Your time starts now. Wow, impressive! You got the correct answers. It's relevant. We already know the main point of the argument. That is, He's Into Her is definitely a fan favorite, not just because of its killing factor. On that note, what are the evidences presented to prove this point? Very well. Dave Blor cited a testimonial evidence which was a statement released by the ABS-CBN Entertainment. And a statistical evidence, specifically a survey data stating that viewers across the globe, especially the young ones, watch He's Into Her not just to support their fave characters, but to learn life lessons as well. These evidences are obviously relevant, at the same time enough to support the presented argument. Way to go, learners! Let's move on to our second voice recording from Max Payne Zin del Valle. Is the evidence relevant or not?
My friend, who is an avid fan of the Wattpad series, He's Into Her, told me that the Netflix version of the story has an interesting Korean vibe. It's true because I read in the Philippine Star that K-dramas were indeed major pegs for the series. Chad Vidance, the director of He's Into Her, also revealed that he used weightlifting fairy Kim Bak-yeol, Love Alarm, and Crash Landing on US gay drama inspiration in pulling out the movie.
Let us play it one more time.
My friend, who is an avid fan of the Wattpad series, He's Into Her, told me that the Netflix version of the story has an interesting Korean vibe. It's true because I read in the Philippine Star that K-dramas were indeed major pegs for the series. Chad Vidance, the director of He's Into Her, also revealed that he used weightlifting fairy Kim Bak-yeol, Love Alarm, and Crash Landing on US gay drama inspiration in pulling out the movie.
What is the main point of Max Payne's statement? Is it heart, like, haha, or the wow reaction? Amazing, learners! If you hit haha, you are right. Time to guess. Is the evidence relevant or not? Your time starts now. If your answer is relevant, congratulations, because it's right. The main point of Max Payne's statement is that his into her has an interesting Korean vibe. Now, what are the evidences presented to prove this point? Correct. Max Payne's friend narrated her experience upon watching the drama, which is an anecdotal evidence. Next, Max Payne mentioned Philippine Star, a well-known Philippine newspaper, saying that the movie has K-drama pegs. Another evidence is a statement from the movie director himself, Mr. Chad Vidanes, saying that Weightlifting Fairy Kim Bok-joo, Love Alarm, and Crash Landing on You are the K-drama inspiration for the movie. The last two are both testimonial evidences. All in all, indeed, the evidences are relevant to the argument and clearly support the idea that His Into Her movie has a Korean vibe. Moving forward to our third and last voice recording from Randall and Chavez. Is the evidence relevant or not?
Max Payne, the female lead of He's Into Her, has a tough personality. She is like Sean Chai, the female lead of Meteor Garden. The way how they fought with their leading men shows their boyish attitude.
Let's play it again.
Max Payne, the female lead of He's Into Her, has a tough personality. She is like Sean Chai, the female lead of Meteor Garden. The way how they fought with their leading men shows their boyish attitude.
What is the main point of Randall's statement? Is it heart, like, haha, or the wow reaction? Perfect! It's the wow reaction. So, is the evidence relevant or not? Your time starts now. This one seems to be quite tricky. Well, the answer is yes, not relevant. Congratulations! The main point of Randall's statement is that Max Payne has a tough personality. Now, what are the evidences presented to prove this point? Correct. It's analogical evidence. Max Payne is compared to Sanchai in terms of having a tough personality. However, this evidence is not relevant and valid because being tough is not just about fighting with men and being boyish. In addition, Sanchai is not really as boyish as Max Payne is. Good job, learners! You were able to identify those voice recordings as to whether they are relevant or not. Also, you've shown us how great your listening skills are. Kudos to all of you. There we have it! We were all able to finish the third movie. Thank you so much, my fantastic virtual learners, for joining me in watching these trending movies in Netflix. I really had a great time chilling with you all. I hope you have learned interesting things about these movies. So, before I proceed to our question and answer portion, here are some of our takeaways from today's lesson. Today, we have learned that evidence refers to facts documentations, or testimonies used to strengthen a claim, support an argument, or reach a conclusion. Evidence has 4 types: statistical evidence, testimonial evidence, anecdotal evidence, and analogical evidence. An evidence is valid and relevant if, first, the source of the evidence is reliable. Second, the evidence supports the point or claim. And lastly, the evidence is enough to prove the point or claim. Please always remember these things. Look how time flies. We are already in the final part of today's learning engagement, the Q&A. If you have questions about our topic today, I will be more than happy to address your queries. You have 1 minute to type your questions below in the comment section. Your 1 minute starts now. Time's up! I'm both excited and a little nervous about your questions. Let us look at our question number 1 from our virtual learner from Malintan National High School. Why is it important for us to learn the ways on judging the relevance of the evidences present in a text? Nice question! Well, the critical evaluation of ideas, arguments, and points of view is important for our development as autonomous thinkers, especially you, our students. It is only through this critical evaluation that you can distinguish among competing claims for truth and determine which arguments and points of view you can trust and those of which you should be skeptical with. Furthermore, this helps you to develop a sound framework to test your own arguments. Our second question came from our virtual learner from Disciplina Village Bignay National High School. Anecdotal and analogical evidences are weak supports. Does it mean we can't use those evidences in supporting our claims? Wow, this student really listened to our discussion earlier. Yes, anecdotal and analogical evidences are weak supports. However, it doesn't mean that we can't use them anymore in proving our claims and arguments. Actually, each type of evidence has strengths and weaknesses, and how you use them depends on what you're trying to prove. Consider mixing multiple forms of evidence in the supporting details to make the strongest argument. Our last question will be coming from our virtual learner from Genti de Leon National High School. What websites can we consider reliable? This is a very interesting question. Generally, .edu and .gov websites are credible, but take some time to consider the organization's purpose and agenda to determine if it could be biased. Commercial websites, such as those of reputable news organizations, can also be good sources. But do some investigation to look for signs of reliability. Thank you so much for actively participating in our question and answer portion. I am positive that you will be able to complete the succeeding tasks in your learning packets. Allow me to give you a quick walkthrough on your activities. Turn your learning packet in English on Lesson 3. Judge the relevance and worth of information or ideas. Your tasks are: what's in, relevant or irrelevant, and what's more. Under what's more, you have to answer Activity 1, vocabulary check, Activity 2, factual check, and lastly, Activity 4, comprehension check. Thank you very much for joining today's class. I would like to thank my supportive colleagues from Disciplina Village Bignay National High School, Teacher Caitlin Vicencio, Teacher Isaac De Luna, Teacher Christian Moises Carlos, Teacher Jasmine Magtalas, and our IT staff for the technical assistance. This has been Teacher Joy. See you again next time for another episode of Virtual English Class, only here at Valenzuela Live, where distance is never a hindrance in learning. Stay home, stay safe, and enjoy the rest of the day.